There have been frequent adjustments in the pump price of petrol for about a year now, as against the old order where it happens once or twice yearly. What is responsible for the constant adjustment, which in most cases results in an increase in the price of petrol, and how does this affect Nigerians? You're watching Viewpoint. I'm Blessing Aichi.
Petroleum pricing is in Nigeria as of today. We understand that the market have been significantly deregulated. What that means is that the price of the product is expected to fluctuate in consonance with the forces of demand and supply, so that when the price of crude oil increases in the international community, it means that the pump price in Nigeria is also expected to increase. And if it is the case that the price also goes down in the international market, we also expect that the pump price in Nigeria should go down. But what we have observed in Nigeria in recent time is that the price does not necessarily go down when it comes to market forces. So basically the price of petroleum products are sticky downwards, and this is due to a whole lot of factors. Number one, I would like to say that the regulators like DPRO, PPRO and the likes, they have not been able to demonstrate the willpower to implement market control in terms of pricing. Also, the government itself has not been able to do what it promised to do, because I remember vividly in 2015 when this administration, then President Muhammadu Buhari and APC were going about campaigning. One of the things they promised Nigerians is that they are going to make sure they put our refineries to work, but over the years we have seen that has not, over the past 6 years we have seen that has not come to fruition.
We are all suffering. The effect of petroleum increment is biting hard on everybody. We are all suffering. Continuous increment is not good. It may lead to another worse, serious situation in the nearest future.
The increase in the fuel price is alarming because there's no money in Nigeria as a whole. But in the long run, the government is, because democracy is always for the people. But all of this increment is supposed to be, they are supposed to have the people at the back of their mind as well, because they can't just wake up one morning and say they increase the fuel price. Of recent, I received the news. I listened to news and they said there won't be an increment in fuel price this month. But going to the filling stations, I saw that it's 178 and all of that. So the fuel price has cost a lot, because if you are going out, if you are going to any location, you find out that they've increased it. The bus drivers, everybody just said it's increased, and it's not like the money is coming. There is no work, employment. We don't have employment. We don't have anything for the masses. But you're just increasing the prices at the way it just is. Please, the government should just find a way to go about that. The increment is something that is alarming to the public.
Financial price, that I mean that whenever the price of food goes up, the price in the local market will also go up. But it is quite regrettable because in Nigeria we have oil. We have oil at the back of our homes. So international price is not supposed to determine our consumption at all. It's supposed to be a factor between the government and the international community. Because if the major problem is the refineries that are not working. If from 1999 to date, all the leaders have been able to do one refinery per tenure, I'm sure that this would have been a thing of the past. That is the main problem. If the refineries are working, we don't have a problem with the international price at all. Whether it is $60 per barrel is not supposed to, because at the level of our immediate environment, we should be able to sell petrol around 50 or 60 naira. What we can quickly do as a government is to use our policy to, because what governance entails is your policy. Your policy should be able to touch over 90% of your mass. There's what we call major marketers and independent marketers. The major marketers are giving the so-called PFI value. That PFI value is what the government, because government is the sole importer of the product. So it comes with a mother vessel and major marketers go there to take their quantity. So at a particular value they are giving, they are not expected to sell. But because they thought, we already know that the international price determines the price locally, and most of them had to hold the product, you understand? So giving it back door to the independent people to sell, that's why you can find that disparity.
Last year, the federal government deregulated the petroleum industry, and as a result of that, marketers will be able to sell at their own rate, depending on which depot they get their product from. So that on its own definitely causes the price variation. And as you know, federal government used to subsidize the cost of petrol, and since they stopped subsidy, just because of the misuse of the subsidy regime, marketers now, they no longer get subsidy from the federal government. So on that note, marketers are able to sell products at their own rate. But the truth of the matter is that it should have been a very good thing for the Nigerian populace. Unfortunately, most of our refineries are not working. Since the refineries are not working, the federal government is importing these petroleum products. And since they are importing, they are also the sole importer of the petroleum products. And we all know the cost of foreign exchange. And that is what determines the market. So it's a very big problem. Unless the federal government has to come out with a way to cushion the effect, to see how they can assist the masses. But I really don't know what they need to do, unless the economic team on their own sit down and think of something good. Otherwise, with the rate things are going, even the marketers can't even bear it again, because today you have about 10 to 5 million that you are using as your capital for business, and the following day, they tell you the cost has gone up, and you are there looking for other money to add to your capital. So the same way it's affecting the market, and I don't see how the country economy can progress, most especially when the price of petrol and diesel is not stable.
The problem is from the depot. Before, we do buy fuel at the cost of 149, but today fuel costs about 165 without transport.
We do have our equipment which we use in testing every pump that a marketer uses, and if any pump fails to meet up with that measurement, there are sanctions.
Though the NNPC has said there will be no increment in the price of petrol in the month of March, Nigerians have lamented the hardship they've experienced as a result of constant increase in the price of petrol. Experts say government needs to intervene in the short term, either by subsidy or build refineries to address the issue in the long term, so the benefit of deregulation of the sector can be felt by Nigerians. I'm Blessing AG.